Technology is changing how people work. You can choose to work all night and rest during the day. You can choose to work all day and rest during the night. You can choose to work intermittently. But what really stands out is being able to work from home, remote working. Today we meet Nick Muthumbi, a web designer who turned his home into an office.
I've always loved tech from way back, from like since I was 14 or give or take. So the more I grew, the more I realized that my passion lay more in tech. I have a degree in psychology, but I realized that tech is where my heart is at. So I gave it my all, and tech is broad. So after narrowing it down, I realized there was a niche for web design, and that's why I ended up there.
Every time you search the name of a company on Google, you'll most likely find its website. Someone somewhere created that website and they were paid to do so.
On the web part, the web design part, I work with more or less companies. Every once in a while, you'll find individuals, but that's rare. Also for creation, for digital creation, I work also with companies. On the web design part, I have worked with companies like Purple Haze. We have worked with Kenya Airways. On the digital part, I have worked with KCB most recently for the WRC. I've also worked with Carrefour, I've worked with LG. So I'd say my clientele is majorly companies.
LeBron James once took a bus to meet the CEO of Adidas. He met him in one of those boardrooms with long tables and was seated at both ends. The CEO wrote something on a piece of paper and came all the way from his end and placed the paper in front of LeBron. It was a $10 million check. LeBron looked at the check for a while, placed it down, and left on a bus. The next day, he signed a deal with Nike 10 times the amount. The man knew his worth.
Hey, bro. I made there's something we call it's like over it's kind of a 3-in-1 website, and I remember I made it for I won't mention the amount, but it's not something I will even charge hourly right now. Yeah. As a rookie, people will take advantage of you, especially in this Nairobi. People will take advantage of you if you do not know your worth. So my first experience as a rookie in Nairobi was welcome sour. At that time, it wasn't a big deal for me because you don't have much bills and stuff like that. But looking back, that was a steal for the client. So unfortunately for them, they didn't see through to it for whatever reasons. But yeah, it was something else.
Working with a multitude of clients, the WRC Safari Rally by KCB Bank stood out this year.
I think that's the most exciting gig so far I've had as a creator. The most exciting gig I've had so far, because my mandate was my mandate was more comms for the WRC in Naivasha. That was in July, I think. Yeah, that was in July. So I was mandated with being at the rally and covering what was happening and telling people what was happening and getting as many people to show up. And there was we were doing a campaign for the Visa card, the KCB Visa card, and man, it was surreal. But it was surreal. The feedback was amazing. We still have unreleased footage. So yeah, it was an amazing day.
In Nick's career, at some point, he worked in a solid brick office.
I have my entire life I've only been employed for like 6 months. So I do not think I'm in a position to answer that because I don't know much about working elsewhere. I've only worked in an office for give or take 6 months, 8 months max. That was immediately after campus, 6 months at a studio in Parklands, and then just before graduating. Actually, yeah, just before graduating. Just now, I completed campus in 2016, so I graduated in 2017. So just before graduating, I had another gig that it was like 2 to 3 months. So I really can't speak much on matters, working from an office or anything, because nearly all my life I've worked from home.
Freelancing is actually an SME because you're selling your services to clients. It's not easy to break even to have a good client base.
First things first, I keep telling people, keep talking about what you do. Every single day a client is born. So even before you like kind of push yourself and package yourself, keep talking about what you do. Keep telling people, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a DJ, I'm a photographer. Keep telling people that. 8 out of 10 won't listen. 2 out of 10 will listen, and they might be your clients. So keep talking about what you do. Second thing is, as opposed to the previous ways of how we used to package ourselves and market ourselves, right now telling people I'm a photographer doesn't make the cut anymore. Always sell yourself from a point of value addition. So you'll be like, hey Nick, I see you have a really nice setup. We could do, we could do a photo shoot with it. I see you have a really nice voice. We could do an audio recording with it. I'm an audio engineer. I'm a photographer. So always approach these things from a value addition point of view. Personally, I'll give an example of what I do. I never tell people I'm going to create for them websites. Never. I keep sharing information. I do posters. I do short videos on how to harness the power of owning a website to your business or to you as an individual. By the time this client is consuming your content, they are so deep into it, they actually don't think of it as a purchase. They think of it as an extension of their business. I don't know if that making sense, but telling people muting is a website. Telling people I'm a digital creator no longer makes the cut. Show people what you can do. Share relevant information, and they'll come streaming in. It takes a while because you say nobody will believe in you the first, second, 10th, even 20th time. I have been doing it for a hot minute now, and I can tell you, jobs don't come easy, but when they do, totally worth it.
When you hear about having a good network, most people think it's having wealthy uncles. But there are people who came in Nairobi with totally nothing and have unbelievable networks.
Your network is a network. That's what I tell people. Your network is a network. Word of mouth, even at a time and age where digital is king, word of mouth still reigns supreme. Word of mouth still is the it. So if it's about networking, meet as many people as you can, but also don't just high quality people, because we could just live outside. We could step out and just meet people, but what value do they add to your life, right? And to you as an individual, to you as a business, like, do they make you wholesome? So networking is of essence, but then make sure wherever you're networking or whoever you're networking with adds value to your life, because even at the bars and clubs we do network, but this add value to your life. Yeah.
As you grow, you experience a new level of challenges other than lack of finances and resources.
Where do I start from? So I think the biggest challenge on the web part is clients not having a complete understanding of why exactly they need a website. I actually recently made a tweet and said 7 out of 10 clients who approach me do not need websites. Because first of all, if you do not have proper online presence, trying to drive traffic to your website through just from using the website itself will cost you an arm and a leg. It's like starting with just a website from the ground up is crazy. So I think my biggest challenge so far in matters of web design and development is clients not understanding exactly why they need a website. The second one is them not understanding what exactly they need from a website. So those two things are my biggest challenges on matters of web design. On the side of content creation, same old. Underpaying clients, delayed payments. Sometimes you actually have to drop gigs because they do not align with what you believe in. But I guess it's all in a day's work.
Having pursued psychology and now being at the top of his game as a web developer, Nick shares advice on how passionate people can build their careers in this digital age.
I keep telling people at this time and age, if you have access to the internet, there's so much you can do. The other day I shared the link with free courses. For starters, if you don't have any prior, education or information, whatever you want to do, there's literally a course on anything and everything. And if you feel like studying, going on platforms like Udemy and the rest is too much work, YouTube is full of resources. GitHub is full of resources. Stack Overflow. There's so much you can do. We're in the era of information. So if you have access to internet, go all out, find out what you want to do, go all out on it, just hibernate for like 3 months. It's all it takes. Repackage yourself, come back, bounce back, and you'll be a force to reckon with.